Hi everybody, Old Hollywood Vintage Gal here, and tonight we're going to talk about a classic psychological thriller, The Bad Seed. Released in 1956 and directed by Mervyn LeRoy, it stars Patty McCormack as Rhoda, Nancy Kelly as Christine, and Henry Jones as Leroy Jessup, and Evelyn Varden as Monica. The story is about a little girl named Rhoda. Her father moves to Washington for his job, and it's just her and her mother living their life until their father comes back. And one day, Rhoda goes to a picnic, and an event happens where a little boy named Claude dies. It is later speculated that Rhoda had something to deal with the death of this little boy. Like a man comes, okay, we don't see the guy, but a guy comes forward and says, well, he saw this little girl wearing the same outfit she did with pigtails on the wharf, and things start seeming suspicious whenever the subject is approached in front of Rhoda. We finally find out that she is the one who caused the death of this little boy, and it is up to her mother to decide what she's going to do when she finds out the truth. So, I wanted to see this movie, and I caught the tail end of it last year and thought it was interesting, but never got to actually watch the entire thing. And today, somewhat last night, up until today, I did. I watched it, and it's good, but not for everyone. For me personally, the movie itself is good. Mervyn LeRoy is one of my favorite directors. He produced The Wizard of Oz, which is my all-time favorite. He also did one of my favorite adaptations of Little Women. So I have no problem with this director. I think he did very well. Patty McCormack, who had done the role on Broadway, is also wonderful. She really captures that character of the sly, perfect, innocent seeming child when really there's a dark, hidden monster inside of her just waiting to come out. The mother, played by Nancy, is also very... I like the mother, but I don't know, there's just something about her acting. Like, at some points I'm like, okay, she really hits it, and other times I'm just like, she's just like really melodramatic, I guess. But then what would you expect if your child was a killer? Now, I want to talk a minute about the twist. There is a bit of a twist in this movie, and I want to talk about that for a second. So, basically, Nancy is talking to her neighbor friend Monica and this groupie of people, and they're talking like psychologically and all this stuff. And she says that one day she had a dream, and it was like she always had this fear that she wasn't the real child of her parents. She always thought that they weren't her real parents. Why she would think that, we don't know. But when her father visits, we get this story, and it turns out that her fear is true. She isn't the birth child of her father and mother. She's in fact adopted. Her real mother was a psychotic woman who would kill just about anybody and would disappear and never leave a trace. And this is when the twist happens, because then at this point she realizes that something is wrong with her daughter, and it's troubling to her. So to hear that your mother was a killer for many years, and now your daughter's starting to come up with this habit, now she's afraid it's bloodline. It's not... And there's a little bit of an argument, like whether or not it is in the bloodline and whether or not it is of the environment. And that's a really good point, because not every killer is from an environment, and not every killer is from bloodline. We're not sure how a killer starts. With this character, with Rhoda, though, she kills out of spoiledness. She's a very perfect child when we first see her. But then it's little things that set her off. The first time we see her set off is the medal, which is the very reason why she killed the little boy Claude. She wanted the medal so much and thought she should have won it. She didn't win it. It went to the little boy. So here she's in this jealous rage of fit that it's mine and I have to have it. And what happens? She ends up killing him for it. We later find out she killed an elderly, lovely woman who was in a different state, Wichita, and she killed her over wanting her snow globe. Apparently, she said when she had died, she would promise that snow globe to Rhoda. Rhoda had initiated a performance that involved killing her to get what she wanted. She also ends up killing her land cleaner guy that they hired, Leroy, because he finds her shoes and she basically wants them back. And since he was making snide remarks and threatening and just teasing her, she takes it all seriously and kills him for it. It's really sick how this character goes through each part of the movie in her life and just kills. And it's a really great performance, but the character's just sick. And by the end, she does get her comeuppance, as I like to say. Like I said, the movie is interesting. It's not Hitchcock, but it is a well-done movie. Everybody, for the most part, does a great job acting. Patty McCormick also does a wonderful performance. And it's all around really good. The one question I do have, though, is there's pictures of Rhoda's mother spanking her, but I've never seen that in the movie. I would really like to see that happen. I really would have. But that is my review of The Bad Seed. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of The Bad Seed. And if you have any recommendations or requests, leave them down below. Bye. Have a great, wonderful night.